Hey losers, how is everybody? Let me know if my sound quality is alright in comparison to the audio. I'm never any good at figuring these things out. I feel like my video audio is always too low or too high in comparison to myself. So I'm always super paranoid about it. Anyway, I hope everybody's doing good. Let's take a look at the poll and see where we are. And so maybe I can influence my decisions about what we'll do tonight. Also, shout-outs to Common Rider Saber and Review Fox for being the first people here in the chat. I'm glad you guys are around. Hope some more people drop in soon to join us. I'm going to go and post the stream as usual. So that everybody knows that we are live. Hope you guys are doing good tonight. What's everybody up to? Hope everybody is super swell, staying safe. Pandemic is on the down low, at least in my area, so that's really great. I spent most of the weekend under the weather because I went and got my second COVID shot. And so I'd had some family members that got it, and it put them out of commission like 3 or 4 weeks. Not 3 or 4 weeks, like 3 or 4 days. And mine kept me down for like 2. Brendan Ariel Meluso Braun says hi. Hi to yourself. Hope you're doing good. So just looking at the results of the poll, we got 28 votes. Mortal Kombat was way and above the leader at 68%, which is why we're starting out with MK tonight. Castlevania came in second with 14%. And then earlier today, Vigilante 8 was in third. And then Europa Universalis 4 shot ahead for like an hour or two. And then Vigilante 8 pulled back up to tie it at 7%. And then, of course, Other was at 4%, but only one person commented what the other game they wanted to see was. So it's kind of hard for me to do that if I don't know what you actually want to see. However, Mortal Kombat did win, so we're going to start with Mortal Kombat tonight. Now, yes, Castlevania came in second. We also played Castlevania last week, so I think I'm going to give third place a try with Vigilante 8 tonight. Don't worry, we will play some more Castlevania in the future. I'm definitely going to do that Carrie Fernandez no bolt challenge run where you can't use her main weapon. I do want to try that out and see if it's as tenable as Reinhardt's. I think it will be, but I do want to do that on stream. But anyway, if you're not getting my community post, make sure you're subscribed and you have the bell turned on, and that will at least give you a chance of getting them. No one knows how the YouTube algorithm works, so you may not even get it. You can always check the channel under the community tab because I usually post a poll of some kind every Monday. I had Spiral of Solitude says I had minor aches the day after the second one. Yeah, the first shot was nothing. Like it felt like when you're in the first grade and the school bully punches you really hard for the first time and your arm hurts for like a day or two. It felt like that. And then like it was really strange. Like it was super sore, like extremely sore. And then we had to put a swing set together. And so I was like, this is going to kill my arm because it's super sore. So we put the swing set together for like 4 hours. We went to eat. And when I came back, I realized it was completely gone. It didn't hurt anymore. So I think I just like worked it out, if that makes sense. But yeah, the second one gave me a sore arm, which lasted for like maybe 48 hours. But I was fine. I just felt kind of tired until like midnight. And then fever hit me like a bunch of bricks. I had like 100-degree fever and just felt really bad, but it went away. So I'm feeling good again, and hopefully we'll be immune to COVID shortly. Anyway, this is Mortal Kombat 1 Champion Edition, and I'm going to look up the name of the guy who made this. So I can give him credit. I don't think that this has been updated more than once. This is Snark4918. This is his hack, and it's pretty impressive as far as Mortal Kombat 1 hacks and Mortal Kombat things go. Most of you, when you first got on the internet and discovered emulation, the first thing you tried to do was use character modifiers to play as the bosses in classic Mortal Kombat, and it crashed the game. Thanks to the work of hackers like Abystus, we can control all the bosses in the entire series. With the exception of Mortal Kombat 1, nobody has done that hack yet, except for this hack of Mortal Kombat 1 on the Super Nintendo of all things. So it's what we got, so it's what we're going to try it. Abystus, if you're watching, you gotta knock this out for the arcade, man. At least give us a playable Goro. I know you can do it. Anyway, so this hack lets you choose Reptile, it lets you choose Goro, and it lets you choose Shang Tsung. We're going to check out Reptile and Goro. Shang Tsung I'm not really going to play through the whole game with because he's kind of a train wreck, to be honest. The bosses you cannot walk backwards with. And I think that's because the bosses, when the CP uses them, doesn't usually walk backwards. I think Shang Tsung may, but Goro never does. And so for whatever reason, the hacker didn't give them the ability to do that. And you think, oh, they're boss characters, it doesn't matter. Well, it kind of matters when the AI has perfect reaction, because they'll just cheese you out like his Shang Tsung and you won't get very far. Anyway, let's I need to open up the README here to find his instructions. To play as Reptile on the character select screen, hold select while selecting Sub-Zero. So this should make us Reptile. And I think the way he's done this is that you have to press a command to swap between movesets. Okay, yeah, you press the L button to swap between Sub-Zero and Scorpion. So let's test it out. So we're going to default, I assume, to Scorpion. Now let's press select. Did not switch. Yeah, I know, you would think they wouldn't be able to jump. That kind of makes sense. But yeah, like when we get to Goro, you'll see he can't walk backwards. If you try to walk backwards with Goro, it just does a... it's like a taunt or something. It doesn't actually jump backwards. Does Reptile have fatalities? He should. Yeah, it says switch stance, press L. Or select, hold select, and press high punch. So we'll try that next. The remote I'm playing with isn't the best, so I'm probably going to have some missed inputs here and there. It's I had to buy a used PS2 DualShock a few weeks ago, and it was definitely loved by whoever had it because the diagonals are pretty worn out on it. I think MK1 doesn't have credits, thankfully, so I can just continue a few times. I'm not too familiar with the AI of Mortal Kombat 1 on the Super Nintendo. I would assume it's like the arcade, but they are blocking these jump-ins more frequently than I'm used to. Usually if you jump kick from that range, it's all but a guaranteed hit. It also may be because I'm playing as Reptile, because his speed is higher. So that's going to mess around with the AI's reaction. Is Mukai the guy that throws all the stupid Pepto-Bismol fireballs all over the screen? That guy's the worst. That's one of the main reasons I don't ever play. That was a good King of Fighters game, but I never could play it because he was just such a pain to fight. You would just end up rematching him on that fight over and over and over to even try to get a hit on him, so it wasn't worth it. It is nice that this Reptile works. Like, you see a lot of these Reptile hacks out there, and the game has problems because it, like, there's some special match modifiers that go on when you fight CPU Reptiles, so that the game tries to load those. And this doesn't do that, so that's nice. They've actually done their due diligence. Overall, I'd say Reptile is the best part of this hack, because he's like a fully functional character that you might actually want to use. Okay, that's a different one than I always forget the name of the Pepto-Bismol guy, but he's extremely annoying. Okay, so he has switch stance. I think Magaki is the name of the guy with the Pepto-Bismol fireballs. He like shoots antacid medicine at you the whole match. If you hear extra canine activity from downstairs, I apologize. We're keeping some of my in-laws' dog this week, so we got twice the amount of woofers that we usually do here. Will you stop that? So say in the chat, back in the day when you played Mortal Kombat 1 at the arcade, what was the local arcade lingo for what Raiden was saying when he did his Superman move? You know, the Ajibabade! The ones I heard was, "Aye cornflakes!" And I think there was one where he's like, "I got a dog!" Oh, that's fair. You never get knocked back. I am your mother! Yeah, I guess I could hear that. You would hear some crazy ones back in the day, like "I'm your mother," for example. Haiji Baba Day was one. You would hear stuff like "I eat cornflakes," "I got a dog." I wanted to knock him in the pit, but it was just safer just to punch him to death. See, this will be a better one for Sub-Zero because I can probably block and freeze him if I don't just get murdered while I'm trying to change stances. I guess that because you're in the block, it hides the stance change animation because there isn't one. Do 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 do. With how good MK2 on the Super Nintendo was, it makes you wonder what MK1 could have been if Nintendo hadn't been so strict with it. But the MK2 on Super Nintendo was a super solid port for what they had to work with. It just blows the Genesis version out of the water. But by the time they got to MK3, you could tell the system was just getting too low on memory for the kind of game that Midway was making at that point. He got his kick blocked. He still had time to throw me. Well, that was fun. Yeah, there's Midway, 90s Midway AI for you, boys. Apparently you can just spam punch and it's faster than everything. See, he threw me twice to establish dominance. That was why he did that. I mean, I guess MK3 on the Super Nintendo isn't that bad. But UMK3 is just, like, you really feel the lack of content in that game. From, like, the no announcer voices on some things to just the overall quality of the port is... When you start taking out characters, I don't care if it is Shiva, when you start taking out characters, you're missing the experience. Dang it. You can also see he's added this stage to the default lineup, which is nice. At least there's no like continues on Mortal Kombat 1 Super Nintendo. Like if you're playing MK2, unless you know the cheat codes, you only get to continue like 4 times and then the game's over. Which I guess was kind of to artificially extend the length of the game, because you talk about games without a lot of content. The Super Nintendo ports of these games would have been it. You're sorely buying that for like replayability with your friends. You're not buying that for engaging single player content. Speaking of single player content, I think I'm going to do MK Deception Conquest mode at some point, since a lot of people remember that fondly. I really liked it at the time. I want to go back and play it and see if it holds up, which I know it probably won't, but Neo Geo home standards. Yeah, at that point you might as well just set the cartridge back to arcade and just pay, just actually pay to play it, because you'll get further that way. Unless it's NOM 1975, in which case the last boss has a continue lock on it. I hate games that do that. They let you continue the whole game, and then on the last level they're like, sorry, you can't do that anymore. It's like, I've already seen the whole game and you just piss me off. So what are the chances that I'm actually going to go back and pay to play all the way to the last boss again, just so you can screw me over again? It's not happening, folks. Nom 1975 does that on the last boss. What's another one? Rastan does that by Tato. Rastan, you actually lose the ability to continue on the last stage. So if you make it to the last stage, you better hope you had 3 lives, aka you died and paid a quarter to continue at the next to last stage, because you're going to need all 3 lives to get through the last stage, unless you're like speedrunner level at the game, because it's a hard game. eSWAT, yeah, eSWAT is another one. I've never played Thundercross, but thanks for the heads up. eSWAT only does it during the last boss, but given the last boss of eSWAT isn't that hard. You can beat that last boss with some proper planning and 2 players. It's very simple. And if I remember correctly, you can kill the ads that he summons, so that you just have to like destroy his orbs or whatever, and then you win. Yeah, it's interesting that the AI is tougher in the Super Nintendo version. Normally for the AI, you just jump in from across the screen and they die, but I haven't played this version in probably years, so. The controls are also kind of sluggish compared to the arcade version. I guess that's understandable. But the MK2 port didn't have that problem. There's some sort of exploit to be had with this punching here, but I haven't quite got my brain around it yet. I'm pretty sure I got punched in the air there, but just kept going. There we go. One of the few fatalities that made it into the game as is. See, the Genesis eSWAT is like almost a completely different game, right? That City Under Siege. I've never played that I have played it, but it's been like literally 15 years. And I'm pretty sure I just like cheat code or save stated my way through it just so I could see the ending. I didn't like it. I much rather enjoyed the arcade one. No. So he will actually spear you on jump back. That's the arcade one never does that. Look, he threw me out of a punch. AI Scorpion just pulling out all the tricks here. I couldn't even stand up fast enough to block before he had that spear after me. I don't think Reptile has an ending, but we'll see. After this, we get to play as Goro and just take out all our pin-up rage on the AI for doing this to us. Yeah, see, that was arcade style. That's what you do versus the arcade AI. Maybe it's just you have to be further away. I'm not sure, like full screen. Yeah, I think that's what it is. Yeah, that should be interesting. Hopefully that doesn't crash the game. I don't know what's going to happen with that. That is true. There are unused images of most of the boss characters in these games. But it's whatever the hacker would have wanted to do, so we'll see. There seems to be a lockout on his spear too, which I don't like. Because Scorpion and Sub-Zero were hard enough to play, especially competitively anyway, in this game without increasing the lockout on their spear after certain moves. I mean, I appreciate the thought, but you just got to be like, okay, I'm making a hack for the Super Nintendo Mortal Kombat 1. Who is going to play this? Am I looking to make this the tournament standard, or is this something people playing at home, shall we say, will have fun with? I hate that little move AI Kano does where he turns into a ball to basically transport over to you, unballs, and then throws you immediately. That's the biggest load of horse hockey I've ever seen. Jump, reptile. Oh yeah, thanks for that. Kick, thank you. You would actually get a free hit in the arcade there because the jump in opponent will just stand still. You can't move, but you can still use moves. So you can like throw a projectile or something. I think that was obviously a glitch. In UMK3 in the arcade, they actually balanced that in the AI's favor. So when the AI comes in, their hurt hitboxes are actually available before your hurt boxes can target them. Meaning when they jump in, they can hit you, but you can't hit them for like a split second. It's one of the greatest game design decisions Midway ever had a part in, really. Got him. Moonwalk throws. No, I know my boy Admiral McFish. He wouldn't have skipped that. If an unused character had an ending, he was going all for that. I wish he and I didn't live in time zones that were like on the complete opposite part of the map. I would love to get him here in the stream and just have him talk crap the whole time. If you guys, I imagine most of you are. If you're not subbed to Admiral McFish, go and give him a sub. Give him a shout out. Tell him I sent you. He's a good guy making good content. If you like the fighting games and bosses and hacks, unused characters, secret characters, you'll like him. Check him out. He did it again, too, just to show me that he could. The good news is if we can make it to Goro, we should be able to just freeze him to death with Sub-Zero's core or reptile. Oh yeah, it's all coming together. Oh come, he got me. Oops. Oh, that AI is nasty. Like, it'll only throw that projectile if you have to push against the back of the screen because it knows it has enough time to get you. It won't do it just on a straight, like, jump back. Yeah, I got you that time. I really loved his story in Dragon Hat Liu Kang. For a moment, I wished it was real. What story was that? I missed that story. That sounds like something Eternal Champions would do, but then again, it's your own fault for playing Eternal Champions. What were you thinking? What was I thinking by trying that? Let's just try to punch. Ow, that didn't work. Oh, it can't be that easy. Apparently it is. Okay, we need more experimentation with this strategy. I saw a new strategy for UMK3 a week or two ago that involves punching. It's like basically you punch just enough that they don't get knocked back. I would really have to study it to implement it though. I would like to go back and redo the UMK3 all bosses and actually beat all of the characters this time. Beat the game with all the characters. But I'm really going to study a new strategy for that because that game will take hours if you don't memorize that. Yeah, that was your own fault, Review Fox. Like I don't have any sympathy for you. You have to go beat Criticom now as punishment to atone for your crime. Like, how did he... There we go. Okay, we may be on something here. Stop. And you thought Reptile would be overpowered. Whoever came up with endurance matches at Midway is a tool. Ed Boon, I bet it was you, wasn't it? Look at that, just threw me straight out of a punch. Spear went right through him. But again, I believe Acclaim did this. It was going to be like Acclaim or Probe or one of those guys. did this port, so blame a lot of this on them. The story in his description about how that was Lou's original design, but Ed Boon shut down and threw Tobias out the window. I mean, he might have been telling the truth about that. Poor homeless John Tobias. Last I checked, he was working for like a mobile game company or something. I really do think that Mortal Kombat changed a lot when he left. Like, Ed Boon has always been kind of the forward-facing face. I use the word face a lot in that. You know, Ed Boon has always been the face, but he never made Mortal Kombat alone. It was a team effort. Even the original Mortal Kombat had just like a handful of people, but it was still, they were all extremely important, right? Like Ed Boon and Steve Barron and John Tobias, Tony Goski, Dan Forden. All of those guys are essential to Mortal Kombat, and you lose any one of them and it's a different game. Oh! There we go. Sonya seems to be really ring happy, so if her projectile's fairly slow, so if you can manipulate it, you can get around it to jump again and smack her. Oh. I don't remember computer opponents coming in with a jump kick before. You just expect them to jump in and stand there. Oof. Ah, I didn't fall for it that time. Of course, you can't punish it because AI, but still didn't fall for it. Zynga, yeah, that's... Ooh. Ooh, I'm gonna need to have a... I'm not a drinking man, but I'm going to have to go sit down and have a Coke or Dr. Pepper or something. Pour one out for John Tobias working at Zynga. That's kind of like, what's his name from Castlevania? Koji Iragashi. Having to go work for like that Hong Kong mobile developer while he worked on Bloodstorm or Bloodstained. I mean, those are probably very successful companies, but your average like person that considers themselves an actual gamer, they probably don't make much that we would be interested in. Yeah, I remember the arcades. Whenever you'd beat somebody, you'd throw them twice and then punch them to establish dominance. Hopefully John Tobias got away from Zynga, though. What are they like? Is that Candy Crush? Is that one of Zynga's games? You couldn't hit her one more time, Reptile? Really? One more time? Oh, oh, oh. Ah, throw. Oh, Farmville. That's even worse. At least Candy Crush was kind of like Tetris or Bubble Bobble or something. Yeah, I also heard that he was let go for other reasons. But I've always wondered, like, obviously that didn't do his relationship with them good. But I've often wondered about that. Because they eventually recast Johnny Cage with Chris Alexander for Mortal Kombat Trilogy, so... I mean, I've been in the business world since I entered the workforce, and I just can't imagine... Sorry, I'm in full concentration trying to survive and actually win this round. I just can't imagine that Midway hired those motion capture guys on like a full-time basis. Usually when you have work like that, it's all contract work. So like they would have contracted those guys to do those motion capture shoots and then let them go afterwards. They wouldn't have been on like Midway payroll with like benefits and that kind of thing. So when people talk about like, oh, Daniel Pacina got fired, I doubt that. It was probably more so the fact that they just didn't use him anymore. You know, if they were like in the process of filming sprites for Mortal Kombat 3 and he pulled that stunt and they let him go, yeah, then you, I guess, could consider him fired. But it was more likely the case that they just said like, hey, you know, we're not going to call you back, and it was because you were in this ad. Sorry. And I don't blame them, honestly, because he was like in full Johnny Cage garb. Two low kicks to the balls. Action 52 sequel. I'm all for it. Let's go. Maybe we can actually get the rights to It Takes Two this time. That in the corner throw is the most annoying thing. Because it's like not only are you going to eat the hit that puts you in the corner, now you got to eat the throw as well. Action 52. I should do a Monday night stream, and the pre-poll would just be like, which Action 52 game is your favorite? And then whichever one wins, we just play it for 3 hours straight on stream. Yeah, it's probably more so the fact, I didn't even know if those guys had like a renewable contract. Like maybe they did. Because Midway made a lot of digitized actor games in the 90s. So I could kind of understand with like somebody like Richard DeVizio, if they were like, okay, Rich, we really want you to play Cabal in any subsequent Mortal Kombat games, so we're going to just give you this like 3-game, like almost like a movie deal, really. I bet it was just more so, hey, Richard DeVizio, we're going to pay you X amount of dollars for your time to come in and do this motion capture for our video game. And if they liked them, they probably called them back when they got ready to do the sequel. Oh, that kick on jump in is such... Got her. Yeah, it was probably the fact that Daniel Pesina did MK2. Somewhere in there, Bloodstorm came out. Strata said, hey, you want to do this ad for us? He said sure. He thought it would be cute to dress up as Johnny Cage. And then when it came time to make MK3, oh, surprise, you're not in the game anymore. I don't know if that was the reason that Johnny Cage wasn't in MK3, though. Because, like I said, later they went and hired Chris Alexander, so... Well, that was surprisingly anticlimactic. Was Goro always this easy? There we go. Yeah, that was super easy. Must have been some of the side effects of making him playable, because that was super easy. Who knows if those first Mortal Kombat guys even got a contract? Like, if you guys haven't seen my review, you should go check it out. Not my review, my interview with Sam Radetsky, who played Dantel in Survival Arts. Go check that out. But to spoil that video a little bit, he was just practicing martial arts in Japan one day, and some Japanese guys in business suits walked in. They were from Scarab Sammy, and they just said to the sensei, "Hey, we want to talk to some of your best students." And so they sent him over and was like, "Hey, would you be willing to be paid to come do some motion capture martial arts for us?" And so he was like, "Yeah, of course. I'll come do some martial arts for like an hour or whatever." And so that's what he did. He said they paid him, I think, $200 or $300 cash, in yen, of course, just to go like spend a day recording. And this is in 90s money, so yeah, that's a lot more. And the funny thing was, like, Sam Radetsky is an excellent martial artist, and they just wanted him to be the motion capture for Dantel, who didn't even really use martial arts. Big boy Goro loses. Oh, I didn't realize there was a trial over Sonya. I knew there was some friction between like Ho Sung Pak, I think, and Philip Ahn in MK2. But you never hear much about Elizabeth Malecki these days, probably because of that, and the lawsuit. Which is a shame, because Elizabeth did a great job as Sonya. All right, that was Reptile. What you're about to see next won't be near as painful for me. So you hold select, and you pick Johnny Cage for this. Yeah, you just get a seizure. You don't get an actual ending. You just have a seizure. Yes, ladies and germs, we are actually playing as Goro. Yeah, see, like if I try to hold back, you just taunt, which is useless. So you just have to go full Monty here. But it's okay because you're Goro and you can do that. I mean, hey, if she's happy with it, good for her. There's nothing wrong with that. I can guarantee you that being one of the original motion capture people from Mortal Kombat 1 would it would probably definitely make your life different, because your entire life you're going to have fans messaging you on Facebook and trying to like comment on your YouTube page and all kind of stuff, just wanting to ask you all kinds of questions about it. So What I would really like to know more about is Chris Alexander that played Johnny Cage in Trilogy, and then the guy that played Curtis Stryker. I can't remember his name. But to my knowledge, there's never been an interview with that guy. But the others, like if you want to find an interview with like Richard DeVizio for Kano, there's 100 different interviews with Rich DeVizio out there. And Carlos Pacina has given several. Catelyn Zamir has given several. They found Leah Montalongo. She's done some. But to my knowledge, I don't think the Stryker guy has ever. It's like Chris O'Brien or something like that. I don't remember. Never found that guy. I've thought about trying to do it for my channel, but it would probably be difficult because I know a lot of Mortal Kombat fans have tried, so if they couldn't find it. See, my strategy and secret is that I cover games nobody cares about mainstream. That's how I find stuff like Sam Radetsky, who is just sitting out there just kind of waiting to be interviewed. Oh, check out that sick combo there. Oh, I love that throw. It's nice. Goro, Goro, Goro. Goro, Goro, Goro. I remember playing this as a kid and thinking Goro was so cool that I like... My parents had some of that old printer paper from like dot matrix printers laying around. And so I took them and made like 2 fake Goro arms out of paper and like taped it to myself so I could pretend to be Goro. It was really cool. Can you do that? Is there a hack that lets you do that in TMT Arcade? Because I got to check that out, if so. Can he fatality? No, he didn't. Maybe you could, if you're really, really close and you press high punch, he does the grab and pound, which I don't like. I wish they had assigned that to low punch, because that's essentially Goro's throw. Oh wait, he has another throw too though, doesn't he? So yeah, that really needs to be a command of some kind. Oh, you want to spam, huh? Well, we'll just 3-hit infinite you. How about that? Look at that high-speed uppercut there. Ow. Yeah, there we go. Just infinite, and when in doubt, just infinite. And see, that makes sense, because you would think that that dragon logo, there would be something hidden there, and they went on to do that with like MK3. Yeah, I miss rumors in games. Back when the entire game wasn't just dumped on somebody's PC within like, sometimes even before the game comes out, it gets leaked. Any of you guys remember Ocarina of Time Triforce rumors? And that was a wild time to be alive, man. There were some crazy Triforce rumors out there. I remember it got to the point where Nintendo themselves were like, you cannot get the Triforce in this game. And people were like, Nintendo is a liar. It's still there. They just want us to stop playing the game, which is, you know, why would they ever want you to quit playing their game? I tried several of those Triforce rumors. None of them panned out, obviously. There was the one that was the final straw for me was there was one that was like you have to get all the items in the game and at least 75 Skulltulas, and then like you had to do something weird. I don't remember what it was, and it would like create this wild sequence of events which would lead to you getting the Triforce. And so I did all that, and of course it didn't work. And after that I was like, okay, this is not real. It's not in this game. Sometimes he wants to taunt after his uppercut, which is a problem because you can't combo if he's taunting. Oh, I like how you can just uppercut into the grab and pound. It's completely fair and balanced. Goro needs this because he can't walk backwards. And they did that a lot with Pokemon until the players knew more about the game than the programmers. Pokemon Red and Blue is so legit busted that the players probably do know more about that game than the developers did. I mean, Pokemon Red and Blue has arbitrary code execution, so theoretically, if you knew what you were doing, you could get the Triforce in Pokemon Red and Blue. Let's go. Pokemon Triforce in Red and Blue. Felipe says, I remember that one of the Triforce method rumors was that you had to clear the game in 100% in less than 3 hours, then go to the Master Sword room when it clocks precisely at 3 hours. Gosh, we were so stupid. I mean, some games do have crazy Easter eggs in them like that. Like Mortal Kombat, for example, will do dumb stuff like that from time to time. But I don't know. I guess because we were kids, we didn't understand that, like, it had to be Raiden. It just had to be Raiden. Like, the Triforce is an extremely important plot element to The Legend of Zelda. So getting it in the game is not going to be like, you know, go fish at the docks for 3 hours, then go to the marketplace and run around the well 3 times, and then you can fight Zelda and get the Triforce. No. It would be something related to the main story or something like that. It wouldn't be just arbitrary instructions that you had to follow. Get in that corner, Raiden. Don't you freeze me. Get back. Stupid Sub-Zero. ZFG would be the person to check and see, because if somebody's done it, he has. I think you can do it if you use that arbitrary code and the SRM manipulation, but I don't think you can like legit do it normally under 3 hours. I need Rasmus here. He's my data guy. He would go check. Oh no, stop, no. Oh, the SRM world record is 3 hours, 3 minutes. Okay. Yeah, see? That's right. Some of the SRM stuff is not the most exciting to watch, unfortunately, because it's just like pulling every item in the game out of like a patch of grass for 10 or 15 minutes so you can go do the rest of the game. Oh, look at this. Look, he's just going to spam fireballs. It's okay. We'll spam him with punches. Goro really doesn't suffer much knockback if you block the fireball, so... For the longest time at Zelda Secret Ocarina, which was the old beta hunting website for Zelda 64, there was an inside joke that in actuality the Triforce was inside the cartridge. So like you had to open the cartridge up and like take certain pieces apart and you could assemble a Triforce from it. But as I've said many times before, guys, the real Triforce was the friends that we made along the way. That was the real Triforce. I know, it's Noob Goro. Some very well done sprite work here. And he can attack faster than I can recover, so that's wonderful. Yeah, I can't... Yeah, he can attack faster than I can get up off the ground. Fortunately, we can just infinite, so... Take that, Shadow Goro. He's like a Clay Fighter 2 final boss. He's your literal shadow self. I believe I was holding block. This is going to be annoying. If we can get him into the corner, at least we can infinite him. Yeah, like I'm sitting there slamming the button, but you cannot recover faster than him. There we go. So apparently the trick is to block and then just spam low punch. Yeah, a lot of fighting games used to pull that back in the day because they really didn't know what to do. Like as far as a mirror match, but they still wanted you to have to fight everybody, but they're like, you know, you got some games that just didn't even care and just like, yeah, just fight yourself, who cares? And then some games would be like, call it a mirror match, or they would like make it like a shadow self, or they could do like the Clay Fighter 2 thing and it has like an alternate name, that kind of stuff. Oh, he hit me one time, fight's over. There we go. Oh, the second player 2 palette just turned solid black. It's probably because the game's trying to load a player 2 palette, but there's nothing there, so it just turns them all black. Oh great, he's just going to turn into Goro, who's the worst character for Goro. Thanks for taunting there. If you can get the first hit, it becomes infinitely easier. I guess advantage is very important to Goro. I mean, essentially, but we're playing as bosses in old school MK. What do you expect? It's like a disco ball. It's fun to stay at the Mortal Kombat tournament. A Saturn game called Battle Monsters, where even though the mirror match was versus the alternate palette, it showed an intro where a strange monster transformed into you. Yeah, a few games have gone that route. Like, heck, you even had Darkstalkers 3, which had a dedicated clone character. Some games go that route where it's like you can pick this character, but they always just turn into the opponent. What was that other game? Dragon Asura Buster, I think, does that. It has a character named Nanami, if I remember correctly. And she's literally just, she turns into the opponent every time. That's all she does. But she's like a canonical character because she's like the sister of one of the other characters in the game, Rokuruda. Anyhow, let's finish up. I'm going to show you Shang Tsung. I don't think I'm going to do a playthrough with Shang Tsung just so we can get to Vigilante 8. Shang Tsung is kind of a mess, and you'll see why. So, like Goro, Shang Tsung cannot, he can't jump, he can't go backwards. He can only throw a fireball in his base form, which makes sense. But because you can't get away from anybody and you can't spam fireball like the AI can, like, look, that's all he can do, and it's just kind of locked into it. And you also take free damage. Like, see how I'm not getting knocked back? So, I mean, you really can't do anything. I mean, you could turn into other characters, but if you wanted to play as other characters, like, what's the point? See, like, I can just spam as quick as I can to turn into, like, Liu Kang here. And then the AI is just going to come run at me. So, I mean, I can't transform again. Yeah, Shang Tsung and the boys. That meme is just going to follow me for the rest of the channel's history, I think. Shang Tsung and the boys. And then he seems to change back when you press L, which is block. So like if I want to block, I have to turn back into Shang Tsung, who can't block. I guess you could just use the R button. Yeah, but like I said, that one needs some more work. That's not near as glamorous as it should be. That should be really cool playing Shang Tsung, but because he can't back up, it's not. I think if you made him back up, the rest of it would be fairly balanced, but the fact that he can't go back is extremely dumb. I don't like that. Yeah, it's kind of a mess. So, I'm going to load up some Vigilante 8. I said I wanted to play that. Give me just a second. And we'll get that going. Bear with me here, guys. If you've never played Vigilante 8, it's kind of like a better Twisted Metal, in my opinion. Say any news on Daraku Tenchi Revival Project. Last I know is a listing on the group site. Are you talking about the one that I was going to do a while back, or do you mean like the official one? The official one we thought was dead for a while, but then EXA Arcadia updated their website to say coming in 2021. Now, of course, here we are sitting in May, and to my knowledge, they still haven't done anything with it, so we'll see. If I had to guess, if they do anything with it at all, what will happen is they'll just straight port the game to their hardware, and then just kind of like call it a day. Like that won't be any of the complete features like they said we would get, which is kind of lame, but it is what it is, I guess. I really just hope that the complete edition would come out on sorry, I'm adjusting this. I was hoping it would come out on Switch or something like all their other games. Yeah, it's got to make it on the Switch or something. I just would like the game to be ported to another device. And then if it's received well, I mean, there's always a chance that it could come back some other way, but it has to at least make it out of a, very hard to find arcade port, right? You can't just leave it there. There we go. Alright, so it's time for some Vigilante aid here. One thing I always wondered is if there is a Daraku Tenchi dedicated cabinet out there anywhere. Like, the community has been trying to find one forever, but to my knowledge, one has never been found. Okay, so here is how this works. These are all the characters we have unlocked. As we beat, they're grouped in sets of 2. As we beat those characters, we unlock the next character up. And basically, you just kind of have to work your way through the sequence until you unlock these 2 stages here in the middle. And then after you unlock those 2 stages, you unlock the secret final character. So we're going to go ahead and create... We're gonna try to unlock everything without cheats. I don't know how far we'll get tonight. We may have to finish this up next week. So let's see who all we got. Boogie, beeswax. Quite a paltry selection to start with. I don't know. Who do you guys think? Who do you want to start with first? Like I said, eventually the plan is to do them all, but... Yeah, I know. I imagine it was just a, hey, here's a conversion circuit board you can buy if you want. I dread playing Loki. He's not very fun. Review Fox said he wants Boogie, so we'll go with Boogie. Boogie's actually pretty strong, so.
Whoa, let's move to the groove.
It's not really a speed run. It's just kind of this game is fun, and I wanted to play it run. But Boogie does have a lot of speed. He is actually pretty fast because he has a tiny little car. So we need to destroy the radio towers. Alright, we gotta go find them. The coyotes, their quest is a little bit harder because you had to blow at least one thing up. It's actually easier than the vigilantes because you don't have the risk of failing. Yeah, see, like, that's all we had to do. The objectives in the first Vigilante 8 are really easy to do. In the second one, they're kind of hard. Unless you're the Vigilantes, their quest is ironically easier. Alright, that's one mission down. The VGs. I wonder what that's a reference to. These VGs are no fun, man. Boogie is full of complaints, so next Sid is sending him to California to blow up some barns. Let's hope the wimp can handle it. When's Marvel? That's a good question, Mooski. When is Marvel? I think that's one fighting game series I've actually not posted much video content about is Marvel. It's not that I dislike those games, I just never have posted video about them. Okay, I've got Boogie Special, which is really good. Let's see, watch this. It also does insane damage, and there's like no cooldown on it. Oh, he's got a shield. I wonder why that wasn't doing damage. I think I should put a warning up for this stream and flashing lights. It's been very flashing lighty tonight. Of course, anytime I get a ×2 damage power up, I'm going to get stuck down here. Yeah, I'm gonna make you guys watch Marvel superheroes on PlayStation. Is that the one where they couldn't fit in the two characters, so you had to like you could just do like 1v1s and the load times were so awful? So we need to blow up a wedding chapel, which I'm kind of fundamentally opposed to. However, given that it's in Vegas, there's probably nothing good going on there anyway, so. There's some way to get up on that blimp, but I haven't done it since I was a kid, so I don't remember how. Yeah, there we go. Let's get some rockin' music here. That's like the most annoying special to deal with in the game because it just tracks you wherever you are. Yes, please get a shield and then ram into me. Since there's only 4 levels, the quest levels get exponentially harder in this one. I really need to customize these controls. They're quite annoying. Like the button that I expect to be secondary weapon is like the view change button. And unfortunately, there's really no reason to total the enemy vehicles in this because you don't get salvage points like you do in the second one. So it's just kind of you do it for fun, I guess. There we go. Oh, this game's awesome, and the sequel's even better. So I'm happy to introduce it to you. But the story to this is roughly in the 70s. This oil company starts like this. They're trying to get a monopoly on oil, so they pay a guy named Sid Byrne to basically go through the U.S. and blow up a bunch of gas stations. And for some reason, the police are like focused in the big cities, so they can't really come out to the western United States to help. And so this trucker forms a band of vigilantes, the titular Vigilante 8, to fight the Coyote terrorist band. And they do this by putting machine guns and experimental U.S. Army weaponry on their cars and riding around shooting each other. It's just like the real 70s, right? So, it's amazing. Hey, I'm good. How are you, man? It's good to see you again. Yeah, there actually is a speedrunning community for this. Hold on, I can link those guys, I think. Yeah, if you're interested in seeing speedruns or that kind of stuff for this game, you can check out a link here. In fact, I meant to share... Yeah, you can check those guys out there. Anyway. Well, don't do that. Then you'll miss out on all the great games. Dang it, why do I always end up fighting this stupid invasion? You just about have to own a copy of this game to actually play it though, because it emulates, like, most N64 emulators run this game like a dumpster set on fire rolling down the hill on the back of a mattress. I mean, it's just, it runs very poorly. You can emulate the PlayStation version fairly well, but the N64 version is the superior version of at least the first game, because it has an extra quest in it that the others don't get, and that's for the last super secret unlockable character, which you guys will get to see at the very end of the playthrough. Convoy here is always the worst because he has so much health. Boom. Oh yeah, it'll absolutely work on an EverDrive. It'll run perfectly on that. I have an EverDrive too, actually. I probably use it more to play like hacks and homebrew type stuff. It was an excellent, I won't say investment because I got it for Christmas, but I'm the one that provided the wish list that had it on there, so. It took a little doing to get working, but it was totally worth it. Oh, that was fun. I need a shield. So every character has like a rival character they have to fight in addition to the other characters on the last stage. And Boogie here has to fight John Torque. Which fortunately John Torque's special is kind of garbage, so we don't have to... Yeah, they are extremely expensive and they're kind of a pain to get working. If you like to play a lot of N64 stuff, it's totally worth it. Especially if you like the weird like hacks and homebrew type stuff I was talking about. Because like how many of your friends do you know can play Goldfinger 64 on an actual console? There we go. The one downside to the N64 is you don't get the CGI endings, but I like these endings better because they actually explain the plot a little bit about what's going on. Not that the endings are really that much to write home about. I did download the Luigi mod that they made with the Luigi files they found in the game. Or put into the game, rather, I should say. Alright, so if you look at our status screen here, you can see how Boogie's picture lit up. And the goal is basically to light them all up because that unlocks stuff that you can play the game with. So, like, we'll do Beeswax next. That's the guy in the bottom right, and that'll unlock, I think, Sid Burn. And his story is basically that he was a beekeeper and his bees got irradiated, so he became a terrorist. One thing about the Vigilante 8 series that I give them credit for is that all of the game's endings are canon. Like, every single one of them happens, and they managed to maintain that continuity throughout the sequel. Unfortunately for them, the problem that brings is that pretty much all the bad guys end up getting screwed over in their ending, which, I mean, they're bad guys. They're supposed to lose, but they either end up betraying the bad guys or they, like, get blown up or put in jail or whatever. Something happens to them. But it does maintain the canon very well. And I didn't see what my objective was, so I'm going to start over. I know I was supposed to blow something up. Oh, that is really cheap. I paid like $200 for mine.
Gonna sting you real good.
In the end, it was worth it, though. I've gotten a lot of use out of it. Okay, I think that said I need to blow up the oil rigs. I mean, the Coyote's whole plan is basically like to cripple the oil economy in the United States, so that would make sense. I'm going to get this video flagged, I can already tell. Dang it, what am I supposed to blow up? I should have completed the objective by now. There we go. Objective met. Okay, great. One thing I love about this series is there's all sorts of little level interactables and things you can do, and they reward you with all of them with like special weapon power-ups and things. Dang, that's cheaper than you can get them here. Of course, I got one of the newer ones. That may be why. If you think about, though, the cost to entertainment ratio, it's paid for itself, though. Destroy the condominiums. Easy enough. Get away from me, Sheila. Okay, I think the objective met. Text came up in the midst of being pelted by UFOs. I generally try to get rid of Dave as fast as possible because of his annoying super that homes you from anywhere on the stage. For characters with low health, he can be extremely dangerous. I need a special weapon. Oh gee, thanks for that, convoy. No, 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 no. The physics in this game are also a wonky mess, which that just makes it even better. Like sometimes you'll run straight into a wall and instead of crashing, you'll just get flung 30 feet in the air. It doesn't make any sense, but I love it. There we go. Oh, that sucks. Inflation is terrible. I have a feeling it's going to hit us next because of all the stimulus money. Destroy the Galaxy Hub Hotel and Casino. Now, where would that be? Oh, well, here's a special weapon. That's nice. Yeah, so the bees are his special. Every character gets a character-specific special move. And most of the time, even the weak ones are better than the weakest or the best of the strongest normal weapons. So you always want to be on the lookout for your special, because that's like the key to like beating stages quickly. There we go. This is a good speed game, probably more so than the second game, because the objectives are so easy to do. In the second game, some of the objectives are kind of finicky. Like you have to collect items and they're not in the same place all the time, and the computer opponents can pick up items you're supposed to collect. but that's a problem because the level will automatically end if you kill all the enemies. So if you've got no enemies left and you don't know where the items are because you can't find them on the stage, but maybe a computer opponent picked it up, you don't know. So you just kind of have to risk it by killing the last enemy and hope that they've got what you're supposed to find. And if they don't, you just lose and you have to start all the way over. Also, that guy is Slick Clyde, the guy right there. He's actually the antagonist of the second game. He has a really good special in this game. Maybe we'll play as him next so we can use it. Or he might... Okay, we killed him, thank goodness. He probably could have killed us with it. It's really good. There we go. Well, I appreciate you wanting our dollar to tank so you can get some cheap video games. I can always count on you to look out for us. Destroy silos. So I'm assuming that character he mentioned was Chassis Blue, so we're probably going to have to fight Chassis Blue as our rival character here. See, there's our silos, if we can get to them. If the dollar tanks, I'm going to have to start doing hot tub streams like on Twitch. I'm just going to turn into hot tub night, where it's just like me in a hot tub talking about the weather for an hour and 30 minutes. What the heck was that? Oh, it's because he's got his special, that's why. But yeah, that should have just knocked me to the side. Instead, it flung me in the air. That's why I love this game. It's amazing. Luxoflux wasn't really sure how to physics, so they just did some things. There's a whole lot to unpack in that statement, so let's not do that. Although to be fair, Urian would probably be the easiest to cosplay because you just need like the black bodysuit. That would be super easy to get a hold of. Get out of here. It's so hard to approach him when he has that stupid base quake because it just like knocks you away.
Lightning. Lightning.
Out of all the weapons I could have got, I got the mines. The mines are borderline useless in my opinion. They do too little damage. The AI's not going to run over them anyway, unless it's like in close quarters. They're just not useful. Look at this. Like, just no idea what's going on. Alright, he must have blown himself up. Let's... I need instructions. Of course, Slick Clyde is left. He's probably the most dangerous one. Just because of his special.
Lightning. Lightning.
Yeah, I told you the physics in this game are bonkers, which it can be annoying at times when you're trying to do something, but if you just go with it, it's a lot of fun. There we go. Alright, chassis blue. Oh gosh. Oh gosh. Every time I get mines from the random box. We really need something to approach her from a distance because she has her special, which is a gigantic, like, star blast. Oh no, we need to get away. Alright, we got her. If we had gotten hit with that special head on, it might have killed us. What do these pickups that stay next to your health do? The ×2 increases your damage. It's like a damage multiplier, so you get ×2 damage. The weird yellow one that basically decreases the amount that enemy attacks can track you. And then there's one more. What is it? I don't remember what the other one is at the moment. So, oh, the green square, that's a shield. It just makes you invulnerable for maybe 30 seconds or so. So you can see by beating the game with those two, we unlock Sid, who is like the leader of the coyotes, the bad guys. So we'll go ahead and do his quest, so we'll finish off that side of the mission tree. So blow up gas stations. First we gotta find one. Yeah, so see now I've got a shield and I'm doing ×2 damage. Oh hey, there's the blimp if I can get into it. Well, that was a nice idea, but it drops you very sideways, so it's hard to do anything with it. Yeah, there we go. Shoutouts to my old pal Dragonfish Blow. Who apparently is watching. Or he was, he may not be now. Did anybody see what I was supposed to blow up this round? I wasn't watching. I was responding to a Facebook message. The trailers, okay. Probably so. We'll try it. We got lots of enemies to blow up anyway, so we got time. Sometimes the computer will accidentally blow the stuff up for you, so it doesn't even matter. Look at that. Got a wrench and got full health. There we go. We'll just pretend that they're meth trailers. We just gotta find it. It actually might be those ruins over there. I just gotta figure out how to get up there. Shouldn't be too hard with Sid Burn, he's pretty fast. Oh, come on. All the times I need the physics in this game to be kind of wacky, and they won't do it right now. Alright, game. We'll do it this way. We'll be Super Tramp and take the long way home. Okay. Yep, it was the ruins. Okay. Now we'll just blow up Dave here and we'll be done. Yeah. Thanks, Review Fox. It was the ruins. We took care of it. And this game is also so based, it has a password system. So if it was like 1997 and you didn't own a memory card for your N64, Luxoflux had you covered. So we need to destroy the power station. I assume not talking about the supergroup featuring Arnold Palmer, or Robert Palmer rather, but we'll see. No, character unlocks are permanent as long as you have a memory card. If you don't have a memory card, you just have to write down the password it gives you. So for example, if I unlocked like 2 or 3 characters, I would just have to see what my latest password was, and I could enter that password to re-unlock them. And failing that, there's also cheat codes that just unlock them anyway, so. But obviously the best way to play is with a memory card. Not really. I'm more of a Marvel guy. I don't know a whole lot about DC. I wish Ed Boon and NetherRealm wasn't so fascinated with it either, because I've never played any of the Injustice games, and I don't know that I will. I've never played Mortal Kombat versus DC, and I don't know that I will. They have every right to make whatever game they want, but doesn't mean I'm going to play it. Just not my cup of tea, man. The homing missiles are okay, but they're kind of weak. But they're called the Hellfire rockets, I think, just the non-homing. They're the best because you can just line up with an opponent and let them have it. Alright, so this will complete that chain of 3 characters on that side. Alright, destroy crude oil tanks. Yeah, that'll be fun. What? How did Chassis Blue already die? The mission just started, and she's already wrecked. Literally. She must have got caught in an explosion or something. That's the only thing I can think of. Lightning. See, we definitely want to go up there and get those specials before we... Go. Stop.
Lightning.
Objective complete.
Sorry, kid. Steel helper?
Fortunately, Convoy Special is kind of dumb, so we really don't have to worry too much about it. We can just kind of set him on fire and then shoot our other missiles. Yeah, he's trying to get away, but we're not going to let him. Yeah, it's the end of that. The heat is on. It's on the street. Inside your head and in every beat. As far as I know, it's all canon. Except maybe with the implications of like who wins some of the individual battles. Just because that, if they had to make that 100% canon, there wouldn't be a game, right? You would just be forced to play as certain characters at a certain point. It would be like the MKX in 11 story mode or something. But pretty much every ending happens in this, carries over to the sequel. Okay, so let's check our game status rather. So you can see we lit up that whole side. So if we light up that other side, it will unlock that that hidden stage there. But those two characters are kind of boring, so we're going to go back up to the top. Just because John Torque's special in this game is really boring. It's the base quake. It really just pushes enemies away rather than like damage them. I think we'll go to the top left and pick Slick Clyde just because he's so hilarious. Let's save.
Yeehaw! Here I come, hit.
Protect oil rigs. And see, these quests you can just speed run because the goal is to not get stuff blown up. So we can just go find like, who we got? Beeswax here. As long as you don't get close to whatever you're trying to protect, usually they will not go and mess with it. Yeah, see, that's all there is to it. Vigilantes have it really easy in this game. Because it's basically like, hey, don't go over to this part of the map is all that means. Protect the lift stations. Not quite sure what he said there. It sounded like lick it, but we'll just pretend we didn't hear it. And if you're not trying to protect it, you don't have to. You can just blow it up and see if it drops power-ups. Admittedly, it is better than like some sort of Resident Evil 4 style guard the thing that's constantly being tracked and moves extremely slowly, protect escort mission. Come on. That's it for him. Done. They didn't even try. The Super Nintendo Mortal Kombat one was better. Which fatalities are you talking about there? Protect the bank. Oh yeah, here's our special. And Slick Clyde has a really good special, so we need to actually use it. Yeah, did you see how I just like one-shot that guy with the ×2 damage and the special weapon? Super busted. Oh, thanks for that, Loki. Oh, can't get up the hill because that idiot's up there spamming missiles. Here, get shocked. So not only does Slick Clyde's special stun you, it does a ton of damage, and then you can't move for a few seconds while it hits you again and essentially kills you. So if you're like a low armor vehicle and you get hit with that, you're done. Thanks for that, Boogie, and now I'm back down in this stupid canyon. It's okay because he managed to destroy himself somehow. With the top tier AI programming of this game at its finest. Yeah, see, look at that. Game didn't know what to do because I was halfway on the ramp, so it just completely gave up. Oh my gosh. Done. Bugged ramp mechanics. It's more than just ramp mechanics. Like I said, they just didn't know how to code collision. In an endearing sort of way. Oof. I need to get away from these hangars because they're pretty fragile. That plane over there, you can actually get caught inside the propellers and it does massive damage if you get hit with those when it's flying by. That's one strategy you can do if you're low on health and you're like fighting a boss on this level. You can trick them into getting hit with a plane and just take all their health away. Oh yeah, we special now. Alright, let's go one-shot some dudes. Sid Burn, he looks like a good character to one-shot. Destroyed. Here's Beeswax. Destroyed. Here's Loki, full health. Nothing to it. His special is just that good in this game.
That's right.
Her special is scarier than it looks, especially if you can get a decent angle to avoid it. Or if she doesn't get a shield and just run back and snipe you. You can also lure enemies into this thing and it's big damage. How does she still have a shield? There we go. Yeah, see, we got hit. We went flying. And see, that's canon. That sets up the next game. All right. Now for Chassis Blue.
Let's get on with the mission, hmm?
Protect the ski lodge.
That's right.
Takes care of her.
Gridlock! Gridlock! Gridlock!
For the longest time, I thought Dan Forden was saying whoopsie instead of toasty. How wrong I was. So we gotta protect the ruins, which it took me 30 minutes to figure out how to even get to them last time, so I don't think we have to worry too much about getting them blown up. Well, that was easy. Thanks for coming to me, Sid. Protect the wedding chapel. This stage is kind of hard to find power-ups on. We can go in here and grab some. Fortunately, no weapons, which is what we really needed. We'll just take Houston's. It's like The Walking Dead. They're trying to come in through the walls. We should get rid of him. Nope. We got a shield. Okay. Next. Almost let him get the health power up. For some reason you can get away with this because the AI won't shoot you back as fast as you shoot it. And I can also just get this double damage right here and lay into him. Double damage, so overpowered. Oh yeah, all the music in this whole series is good. Night. Wait till you see the second game. Music's even better. And this is just the N64 version. The PlayStation version has Red Book audio. But the N64 version has some more content to compensate, so that's why we're playing this version. And the graphics are better. Protect the silos. So we want to get away from there because we don't want... I don't know what's going on up in the sky up there. That's obviously a graphical glitch. There we go, finally. Dang, that is a good special. It doesn't give a single one. Alright. Except we got to be careful around these silos. We need to lead them away. Chassis Blue still has a decent special in the second game, but it's nowhere near as OP as Gridlock is. And we just lost it because we picked up another item. It's okay. They both have shields. Oh yeah. Just in time to fight the boss.
On the way! On the way!
Now he's just going to run away and spam that.
Vigilante!
Too bad it won't be enough. Dang it. Dead. Yeah, the spoiler, the whole game just took place inside a shipping container. And she's a member of the Vigilantes, even though she really doesn't do much for them except fight the bad guys. So in the second game, she's a member of a third group they call the Drifters, which is just like people operating on their own, kind of. Let's see, who do we have unlocked now? We got these two losers. We got this loser, that loser, and this loser. So, let's see. We got Slick, we got Chassis. So, might as well just go down the line. Get Sheila.
Get wild, okay?
Protect the oil pumps. Now Sheila doesn't have much health, so we will have to be a little bit more cautious towards the end of the run of her character, at least. Sheila got kind of a redesign for Vigilante 8 too as well. I don't know what that was. I've never seen that. But I know we just have to not blow something up, so it's fine. And of course, he went and grabbed the shield, so we had to wait. Oh yeah, you're right. We do have to protect missing no. Her special's decent, it's not the best. Okay, he's dead. Stop giving me damage from that. This would make a good level for Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, actually. Lots of ramps. Okay, hopefully we didn't blow up whatever it was. Protect the Galaxy Hub, Hotel and Casino. Loki drove by just in time to steal the pickup I was going for. That's alright, this is the better choice anyway. Go, Sheila. Oh, there was a special. Where was it when I needed it? Her special is that like super Gatling gun thing. It's called the Tantrum gun. It's okay. It's not really OP busted like some of the others, but it has a lot of knockback. Double damage is so broken. As Sid Burn is about to find out.
Check it, Sid.
So we probably need to go loot these weapons here because Molo's going to be able to take a hit. Not too much of a hit, but a hit nonetheless. You don't want to get stuck behind him because his special is one of the busted ones. Probably one of the strongest in the entire game. With the condition that he has to be in front of the opponent to use it. But it also just might one-shot you, so there's that. Here, why don't we grab this? Wait for him to get just a little closer. Or heck, we'll just get it and go for it. Because he's going to dawdle over there forever. Come on. Ooh. Oh, it's almost like the boulder blew him up. Nice. What kind of dude leaves his niece going down a desert highway? Alright, let's check on our game status here. Oh yeah, we're looking good. So we got about time for one more tonight. I guess we can do John Torque because that will unlock Convoy. So yeah, let's knock out John Torque.
You ready to roll the dice, bro?
And yes, he is supposed to be Shaft. Again with the mines, the worst enemy in the weapon in the game. I killed him 5 times before he hit the ground. I can see this definitely would be a fun speed game just because these levels are so quick. Oh, we gotta fight Missing No again. Come on, push me up there. Thank you. School's out. Yeah, don't get into a war of attrition with someone in this game if they have the ×2 power up. You're gonna lose. And then they're gonna do donuts in a gully. That took what, 1:21? Not bad. World record for the stage is probably like 20 seconds. So don't blow up the Chinook helicopters. Okay, it does it for him. Does it for her. Oh, get him, get him. Alright, we might as well go pick up the specials and all that stuff over here. Or we could just lose the special, but hey. As long as we got that double X. I like how it starts you facing a gigantic blast of electricity. You would have no idea what was about to happen to you if you'd never played this before. It is nice when they get flipped upside down and you can just wail on them. I gotta be careful though, because that blows some stuff up on the ground and we don't want to accidentally fail the mission here. Set burn. Whoop, got us both. Yeah, that's essentially it. They did add a co-op mode in the second game at least. So you and a friend can try to survive. I mean, a lot of stuff about this game doesn't make sense. You just have to kind of go with it. Like, why is a school bus driving around the Hoover Dam? I mean... Now, Boogie is going to have his extremely annoying high damage special, so we got to watch out. Especially since we have nothing. It's okay if we can bait him into wasting a few of those. I don't know. I've actually never finished the quest mode with 2 players because I had nobody to play this with growing up, but that would be interesting to find out. I know that there is a online mod made by the co-op community or the speedrunners for this game, so maybe you could do it on that. If I had to guess, whoever is playing as player 1 will get to see the ending for their character. Because there are bonus characters without endings in the second game. And so you can't play them in quest mode unless you're player 2. So my guess is just whoever player 1 is, they get to see their ending. Okay, we really don't need to be eating all those. There we go. Right on time at 12 a.m. Nice. Alright, so let's see where we stand after tonight's work. Yeah, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 regular characters, and then we'll unlock the secret final character and play through his quest. So, alright. Good stream tonight, guys. Oh no. Don't delete. Yeah, all the endings, like once you unlock them, there's a code in the second game. I don't know about the first game, which is long endings, and it will play the endings back to back and the continuity of all of them. But yeah, you have to see every ending to get the whole picture of what happens after the events of the game, which is kind of neat. There are a few outliers like Beeswax over there. His ending just kind of what happens to him. Same for like Loki, but the rest of them, they have continuity between each other, and so you can kind of follow what happens. But anyway, it's about that time for me. Be sure to catch us next week, Monday, as usual, at 9 Central. And you can see what happens to the Vigilantes and the Coyotes as we continue our quest through that. Again, if you're not a member of the Torensu Discord, here's a link. Be sure to drop in and join. It's free, doesn't cost you anything. I'd love to see you in there to talk about the videos, the games, and whatever you'd like to see on the channel. But I do appreciate all your support, subscriptions, and all the like. It all helps. Thanks for checking us out here, and we'll see you next week. Have a good night, everybody. Be safe.